Thank you for joining, and welcome to Let's Zwift. Today, we will be riding on a fairly flat course with one key small gravel climb to break up the groups. Let's meet the teams. The A's have a small group of 15 today and a 7-minute time delay. The B's will have a large group on the day with 40 riders. The C's will have the biggest group with 46. And the D's have the smallest group on the day with only 14. The D's are already out on course, and the C's are just leaving the pen. I gotta say, my prediction for today is that the B's will be able to take the win because of their numbers and the longer 26-kilometer course. The B's are getting underway, and it looks like the C's are keeping the pace high. Both the B's and the C's have interesting screen overlays. Yaksha for the B's has a super sleek screen, looks like the Sauce add-on, but simplified. Ian for the C's looks like a big data guy. He's gonna have to fill me in on what he's looking at here. Let's check in with the C's as they tackle the first gravel climb. Looks like one off the front. Maybe that's a D from the group ahead though. But still, the group is sticking together nicely. They are keeping a solid tempo through here. And it looks like a number of riders are pushing right over 4 watts per kilogram. That's a strong pace for the C's. I'm wondering if they're going to pay for this effort later on in the race. Keeping this large group together here will be pivotal for their success, as they can use the large blob to increase their speed on the flat paved road sections coming up. A couple riders seem to be drifting off the front here, but looks like they aren't going to get too far ahead. This can be a tricky little climb to stick together on, but it seems as if they are nicely through this section and a strong group of C riders remain. All the groups are out on course and the B's are approaching the same climb. Looks like they pick up only one C rider, good sign for that C group, and they seem to have a strong pace here. Just look at the watts being thrown down, right around 400. I don't know how much this rider weighs, but that is some serious power. The B's also navigate this section well and don't seem to lose many riders. It's still too early in the race to predict who will win. Let's check in with the A's as they tackle this climb. They seem to only have 13 left in the group, and one already looks to be off the back. This is going to make the day tough for them. Surprisingly, their pace seems to be about the same, maybe a bit higher than the B group up this climb. Maybe they are holding a bit back and will push harder on the flat. Looks like quite a bit of communication from the A's on screen. The rest of the cats must be in Discord. All the cats are within the same tunnel section here. This is a long section though, so that doesn't necessarily mean all the time gaps have been brought back yet. And the circled A's minimap, they seem to be picking up some C's and B's. That's a good sign as the A's seem to have most of their riders and the advantage of the larger C and B group seems to be dwindling. Ooh, and looks like some of the groups might be starting to feel some of the pain. The A's have one rider off the front and the C's have 2 riders opening up a gap. This might just be a factor of how painful these chase races are. They require every member of the group to contribute rather than just sitting in. This can lead to it being difficult to close the gaps as they begin to open. Watch in the top right, Yaksha, the B rider, looks like he's going to put in a serious injection of speed, going to the front pushing nearly 400 watts. That's impressive this far into the race. With turns like these, they have to be pulling back serious time. Let's try and see where the groups are relative to each other. The C's look like they are just finishing this gravel climb. The B's seem to be just beginning, and the A's look to have a bit left. The gaps are closing, but with just under 9K, are they going to be able to claw back the time? It's probably 30 seconds between each group and it will be close. It looks like the A's have the B's in their crosshairs. They must have held something back to close down on these strong B's. Their pace up this climb will be crucial. Let's try and get a sense of the time gap. The B's are just going through the sprint banner, while the A's are just beginning. It's got to be only 300 meters. Wow, could we be in for a bunch sprint for the win? With under 5K left to pull back the gap, time is running out. The C's are just passing this painted wall and wind turbine on the right. They still have most of their group left as well. Things are looking really good for them. I'm not sure if my prediction for the B's is going to come true. Just looking at the A's and B's on screen, it looks like they are still a ways away. Maybe they made up a few seconds since we last checked, but I don't know. I just don't know. Have they left this for too late? Oh, and here is the same marker for the B's. They still have a few seconds left to get there, and I reckon they are at least 30 seconds back. Man, I've seen the A's pushing above 5 watts per kilogram all day, but with their small pack size, they just aren't pulling back enough time. Here's the same marker for them, probably a solid 15 seconds behind the B's. If you are enjoying the video so far, please feel free to like or sub below. Liking really does help YouTube find other viewers like yourself. These chasing races are exciting, but can be so hard to predict. So many factors at play other than just group size. I mean, I would have expected the A's, with a group of highly ranked individuals, would have caught the B's by now. It looks like all the groups are in this long tunnel straightaway. The C's look like they have the biggest group remaining. Oh, and the A's are about to catch the B's. Kowalski looks like he can't keep up anymore. The A's will only have 6 left now. Can these two groups work together with only about 2K to go to catch the C's? This is going to be an exciting finish. Let's check in with the B group. Oh, and these two A's are going to come flying through. And the B's really having to kick just to catch a wheel. Wow, they are having to push over 600 watts right before this little kicker. This has got to be so painful, but they managed to catch on. And the B's are really impressing me with their ride today. Let's go and check in with the C group. And I think they're going to do it. The gap has definitely been closing to them, but they are right around the corner from the finish. And I don't see anyone within striking distance. Even with the merged B and A groups, their group size doesn't compare to the C's, and they might not have enough firepower left. There's the finish line for the C's. There it is. They are going to sprint for the win. They are able to hold on to their starting time gap and pose through the line for victory if they wish. What a well-earned victory. And there's going to be a bunch sprint for second place. Oh, and they weren't more than 20 seconds behind. Oh, the whole group is going. They're beginning the sprint and are flat out. Power-ups are being dropped, and it looks like 2 A's out front. There's a B right on their wheel, though. Who's going to take it? Oh, looks like the A's are going to take it. I don't know. Too close to call though. We're going to have to check the photo finish. Today's race really came down to the wire. Overall, the race was really close between the groups, but the C's took it in the end. I think the D's were a bit short on numbers today, and it may have affected them.